Matrix is strong. The system which is designed to keep you as a slave is strong.
No matter what, our vote doesn't matter. This doesn't change anything. No matter how many of this you take.
Rules now to this Matrix. I know what the fuck time it is.
We are living inside of the Matrix, and I am Morpheus.
In the moment that you think that you're out of the Matrix, you're back in it.
You guys, the Matrix has officially gotten Andrew Tate. And by that, I mean he's sick and telling people he's sick and people are applauding that he's sick. So let's look into it. Before we get into this video, we have to define what exactly is the Matrix. I see many YouTuber men talking about the Matrix, and I don't really understand what that is. I watched the movie when I was younger.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
And now many 30-something-year-olds are talking about the Matrix is gonna get them. So I feel like that movie really stuck with them from a young age. Maybe a little trauma going on in there. It's okay, I've had those movies that stick with me forever. Land Before Time, you know, the death scene.
Yes, you can. Get up.
We don't need to talk about it. But no one talks about the Matrix more than Andrew Tate. I mean, he even wears the traditional sunglasses for extra precaution, I'm guessing. So what is the Matrix according to Andrew Tate? They want to control us. This is what people who are in charge ever wanted from the beginning. Control. They want people to comply. According to Alden Tan, the Matrix is where average people who do not believe in themselves live, and that's where they do not amount to anything great. That's the general belief, as in to believe in the lie. Mediocrity is also generally accepted then. I can see what he's saying. At least with what he's saying, many people growing up sold you that you must go to school, you must go to college, get the 9 to 5, and pretty much work for the rest of your life, and then die. But in 2022, that's very outdated. Most people don't think that way anymore. It takes a simple Google search to see that you can be very successful without college. I mean, YouTubers make more than doctors without the schooling and the debt from it. What he's also saying can be applied to what I talk about, fat acceptance and body positivity. Most of these people motivate people to be mediocre, or worse than mediocre. They celebrate being a slob, obese, giving up on your diet, and just eating what you want, being free, no willpower, nothing. But once again, most people in the real world don't look at that weird tiny group and think, yup, I want to be like that. It just sounds like he says a lot of buzzwords like power, girls, money, cigars, cars, and then paired it with the movie we all saw when we were 12 and the Internet Boy Club ate it up. Now, many people now are claiming that the Matrix has gotten Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate recently got released from jail and the Boy Club celebrated. Their favorite man that's going to get them laid in the land of puss is out and ready to make content. But some are saying he's different. He seems not as confident in what he says.
Andrew, if you're watching this, invite me on. I'd like to have a conversation with you one-on-one. I would love to actually like ask him legitimate questions.
Because you're a Matrix worker.
No. I am a Matrix worker. I'm trying to get everybody out of the Matrix.
Notice how much more tame he is ever since he got let back on social media.
He's back.
Well, he wasn't really let back. I promise you will not hear him saying any of the outlandish shit that he was saying in the past. The shit that got him banned. Why? Because he's scared.
And then I saw this thumbnail. Andrew Tate says he could have been poisoned after posting footage of health deteriorating. Tate is currently under house arrest in Romania under suspicion of organized crime and human trafficking, which he denied. The influencer and his brother had been taken into custody on 29th of December, with their time in jail extended multiple times before being released into house arrest. Since returning to his home, the influencer, who is known for his sexist and misogynistic views, has claimed that the fire of truth will eventually destroy all lives. His period of house arrest has been due to expire on April 29th, but it was recently extended for another 30 days. So Tate and his brother Tristan will be in their home until at least May 29th. The controversial influencer has previously claimed that the Matrix was out to get him, saying he had been attacked while in jail and been rushed to the hospital. Now he's making similar claims following some sort of adverse reaction, posting his symptoms to Twitter. I have to say, in this picture, he looks like he's like forcing himself to look really bad. Not trying to invalidate his little poison situation, you know, but it does look like he's really trying to make himself look horrible in the thumbnail. Someone on his team wrote that Andrew is not allergic to anything. I mean, obviously he is allergic to something. Poison. Remember, kids, no matter how awful you are, poison don't give a f. This has never happened before. He's only had water and coffee today. Suspect. He knows everything. This person knows everything that's going into Andrew Tate's body. Check that person out. They're like, we only gave him water and coffee. Very normal stuff. Drink up. Either an insect bite or some Matrix attack. Insanity in his bottled water. He's refusing doctors and is focusing on tea and breathing. We'll keep you all updated. I mean, isn't it kind of stupid to refuse medical treatment. They could probably tell you what's going on instead of you laying there with that face. I think he's crying. Is that an alpha male tear there? I didn't take Andrew Tate as someone who would post himself crying over something little like pain. Come on. I told my boyfriend about your video about why men shouldn't cry and forced him to study it. So let's review.
If women can cry, men can cry too. There's nothing wrong with it. And there absolutely is something wrong with it, and I'll explain to you why. Life as a man is far more difficult than life as a woman. And one of the key components of manhood always has been and always will be, we have the ability to control ourselves and not act emotionally. Females are more emotionally driven, more emotionally impulsive than a good man should be. Weakness and absolute submission to your feelings are not the hallmarks of men.
Oh, you guys, this just in. The person who handles the liquid that Andrew Tate consumes has an update for us. Andrew's fine, says the pain is part of life. He says the doctor will inject him with who knows what and kill him. Can you imagine if he ties right now? Well, like you said, Mr. Tate, everything that happens to you is your fault. Jail, house arrest, poison, all of it.
You need to, as a man, adopt the mindset that absolutely everything that happens to you is completely and utterly your fault, whether it's good or bad.
Please suck back in those alpha tears and stop complaining.
What are you, a girl or something?
My vagina is drying up by all this vulnerability. Oh wait, never mind, that can't be your fault. It's the effects of my old age of 32. Dang it. That's probably why you stick to 18 and 19-year-old.
The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucking dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I could put my imprint on her, make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment to learn about life.
Oh, never mind. That's the reason. To help them not meet the bad men. It's not because younger women are easier for a 30-something-year-old man to manipulate, and he wonders why he is called a top G. Groomer. Also, I'm not too sure about Romania. I mean, Andrew Tate was the one that said that he moved out of the country for an easier life and to be able to do whatever he wants and be free. And of course, that slight hint of he wants to R-word people, it makes me giggle. The country he said that he would be so free and threw his butt cheeks in jail. But I got very curious about the fear of doctors just taking out their clients through injections. I've seen movies on it, but I never really looked it up. There's definitely stories of doctors who have tampered with IV bags or supposedly killed a client. I also recently saw the documentary on the Donald Klein who inseminated dozens of patients with his own sperm without their knowledge or consent, and so he has over 90 children. That's against women, so who the fuck cares? What I did find was a lot of stories of nurses that tamper with IV bags. Not tons, but you know, when you type certain things in on the internet, it'll come up in a small section. But it's a legitimate fear, as it could happen, and honestly, I would be scared too if I was him. 86% of all nurses are women, while 14% are men, and the average age of those nurses are 43. Combined with the comments he said about age and then divided by the comments overall of what he said about women, there might be someone there, some woman there who did not like what he said. A moment of that sweet, sweet, womanly emotional weakness to take you out.
Females are more emotionally driven, more emotionally impulsive.
So yeah, maybe he just might want to lay there and deal with it, just like a man. If I was in his shoes and acted the way he acted, I'd probably be on the edge all the time and think I'm in a very intense movie where everyone's out to get me. You know, like The Matrix. He is in lotus position and drinking tea. As long as he can breathe, he refuses medical attention. Okay, so we just have to wait till he stops breathing. Do you know how long it takes for medical attention to get there to you? I'm not too sure if you have been training to hold your breath. He's looking very muscular. That's great, good for him, but that doesn't mean his lung capacity is going to extend over, what, 10, 15 minutes it usually takes for medical care to come, especially if you're unconscious. In addition to being detained as part of an investigation into human trafficking, organized crime, and R-word, Tate is also facing a lawsuit from 3 women who allege that he R-worded them and abused them. They say they worked as webcam models for Tate in 2013 and claimed that they were abused during the time, with the women saying they brought the matter to police's attention before. And on his Facebook page, he posted, "Men go through so much pain that they will never talk about it because they know that nobody cares." Okay, so one thing, you did talk about it. 2, didn't he start this whole thing of alpha male have to be the alpha male, and talking about your pain is not very alpha male-y?
Weakness and absolute submission to your feelings are not the hallmarks of men.
Real women don't like men that complain about their pain, and so therefore the women that you're trying to find really don't care. I personally like when my boyfriend tells me things that causes him pain, because then maybe I can help. We can't help you unless you communicate with us. You can't be over here talking about nobody cares how I feel if you refuse to say how you feel and you be vulnerable and be an asshole to these women and then wonder why these women don't give a fuck how you feel. Anyways, you guys think that the Matrix has grasped the king of not being in the Matrix? Is he lost? Do you think the Matrix poisoned him? Or do you think it's had an adverse reaction to something? I don't know. Andrew Tate is very, very odd. Did you guys see him on South Park?
You right there! That's Alonzo Fininsky, the Romanian sex trafficker! You big man!
Let me know what you guys think, and remember, stay out of the Matrix.
You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thinker, but I'm just a singer, all busy and pretty, just making believe. Boy, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling down to obscurity. Don't let me ever be this alone. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all.